Did you know? Okay folks, brace yourselves, it's time for some fun with statistics. Archaeological statistics. British archaeological statistics. Yeah. So, starting us off, what is the largest excavation ever to have happened in the UK? Well, back in 2012, you may recall, we hosted the Olympics in London. As with every Olympic Games, preparations were exhaustive, and a huge event area was opened up in the east of London. This took a long time to build, and the building site was probably the largest archaeological excavation in Britain. Around 140 trenches were dug in a 1.5 square mile site. Artifacts recovered, including a 19th century wooden boat discovered near the Olympic Stadium site. A Roman coin was discovered on site near Second World War gun emplacements, and also a 4,000-year-old flint axe. The Museum of London documented all of these finds, which also included 4 skeletons found in an Iron Age settlement. So, that's possibly the largest excavation. Now, what about the longest? What is the longest archaeological excavation in Britain? In the early 90s, something happened in Europe. Britain was attached to mainland Europe. The tunnel which attached Britain to Europe is known as the Channel Tunnel for transporting trains and other vehicles. Digging the tunnel was truly a feat of engineering. But not only was the tunnel constructed, there was also an extensive extension of the railway line going from the coast to London. Archaeological excavations along that route have been described as a string of pearls, with sites averaging 2 per mile. The oldest discovery dated to around 8,000 years ago, a Mesolithic flint tool factory. Along the route, a mummified cat hidden in a timber-framed building to deter evil spirits was uncovered. There were also more recent finds, including a camouflaged ammo dump from the Second World War. So that's the longest, but what about the oldest or earliest excavations in Britain? Amateur interest in archaeological excavation has been a mainstay of the middle classes for more than 100 years, and interest in sites such as Stonehenge goes back even further. But how far back does deliberate archaeological research at Stonehenge go? Well, researchers such as Dr. William Harvey and Gilbert North certainly took an interest in the site in the early 17th century. And in 1666, John Aubrey noticed a sunken hollow where the Duke of Buckingham had been digging on the site. So, that's probably the earliest archaeological digs in Britain. Now, what about the deepest? Where might we find the deepest archaeological excavations in Britain? The site would have to have a very deep stratigraphy, with a history of thousands and thousands of years of subsequent human occupation. And there are few places with a deeper and more constant occupation in Britain than London. When archaeological digs happen, and they don't happen that often in the centre of the city, there's almost always something interesting found, and at depths of up to 40 feet, Roman archaeology or earlier is really quite far down from the surface. So there you have it, that's my best guess at probably the deepest archaeological digs in Britain. And that's almost all for today, folks. Fun with archaeological statistics, British archaeological statistics. Yeah. Although there is one notable statistic which eludes me, and that is the highest. If you have any thoughts on the highest archaeological dig in Britain, what, where, and how it might have been, do please let me know.